Stories, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, you join me here, Slow86, and we are back on Cattle and Crop. So before we get too distracted with everything that's going on, we are harvesting away here, and we will continue to do that. But for now, we must run and jump into our tractor. So as we run across our field here, we will just explain a little bit about the state of the game. It took me as a little bit of a shock when it happened, all of about maybe it's a good month ago now, I think, when things kind of started kicking off. But turns out the game isn't being, not the word support is probably wrong, but right in a way. But they've stopped development. I believe cash funds have dried up. And as it stands, the game is kind of in a standstill. Now you can still buy the game, you can still play it, still functions, but there will be no further developments towards the game, which I do think is a little bit of a cop out on their part, that they haven't really said a whole pile about this game being stopped developed. And the fact is you can still buy it without being told that the game, as it stands right now, is no longer being kind of developed or supported. So that's a bit of a cheap shot, I think, for people who mightn't be sure what they're getting into. So if you're unsure, that's where we currently stand. Now, saying that, is the game playable? Yes. Does it have its issues? Yes. So we do have a couple of things there. Let me just turn off the old GPS lines. We do have a couple of standing issues there. Physics isn't quite 100%. In terms of animals, you only have cattle. I do believe others were promised, but as yet not developed in the game. Now I do believe you can spawn them and stuff, but you can't do anything with them from that point of view afterwards. So you can have a lot of pigs if you want in the game, but they'll serve you no function, so not sure why you do it. The only good thing is there is rumours circulating about a community effort in trying to develop the game through modding and other various things. It'll be exciting to see if it comes around. I'm not 100% sure if it will. I think there's a lot of licensing stuff to be sorted out, and it's not just a case of maybe a handful of people picking up the game and kind of running with it. I don't think it works as easy as that. Wish it did, but unfortunately I don't think it will. Oh, too fast there around the corner. But as I say, the game does have some nice features. Now we are not doing any AI work today, as we just don't have the money, 40,000 in the bank, and we've leased all this out, and we're currently harvesting our wheat is where we stand. But regarding everything I've just kind of said, what we're looking towards is, if you guys want to see cattle and crops continue on the channel, let me know in the comments and I will do my best. They probably won't come as regular as they did in the past. This has taken me a while to actually sit down and record it. I'd lost a little bit of faith in cattle and crops, but picked it up, was doing a little bit of harvesting, and decided I'd hit the record button and get this one out there. So that is kind of currently where we stand. As I say, there's not been a whole pile of news from the crowd, Master Brain at Cattle and Crops. I think they own the rights to the intellectual property of the game and stuff. So in terms of models and things, can be imported and transported, but regards actual improvements to the game engine and stuff, I think that could be hard to get out there, and that's where the work is needed, in my opinion. So as I say, we just have to kind of wait and see how it all goes from here. But for now, you do have a playable game, and you can play it if you want. As I say, I invested in this in early access, and a lot more people did the same, and people who would have invested it in probably longer than I did, where they would have went for the full season passes and mods and stuff like that. So the game does have a lot going for it, and it's a shame that it's just kind of stopped and there's been no progress. The soil and performance update, in my view, was a good addition to the game and gave us a lot. There was talks of multiplayer coming on the next update, but obviously that's not going to happen now. which again is a shame because I do believe in some development vlogs they showed a working multiplayer, so it would be nice to get that into the game. And there probably is a beta version of it out there somewhere, but we don't have access to it. So as I say, that is kind of the current state of play with cattle and crops. A little bit sad, as in my view this game had potential to run Farming Simulator and other titles pretty close, and if not beat him in certain aspects, probably not beat him in all aspects, but for what I'm going to say as a first try at it, it was going to be pretty impressive. And I think those looking for a more hardcore simulator would have found it more so in this game, more so than Farming Sim. But then again, Farming Sim 22 is coming, and it does look like they've raised the bar a little bit. I'm still not going to commit fully in behind it. I will get it, I'm not going to lie to you. Probably will pick it up and will play it, as there's not a whole pile of other options out there either. But I do think this one had the potential. Was it the finished article? As I say, no, definitely not. Definitely has its issues. But in terms of what they were working towards and implementing in the game, I can definitely see the benefits of it. So, pros and cons, and it's the same with Farming Sim. There's pros and cons there. For me, as I say, I enjoy both of them. Played both of them pretty regularly. Try and not kill our dog here as we go into the shed. So I can't use storage 2, we can use storage, or can't use storage 1, we can use storage 2, so we'll start that process. And if we jump out, we should get our own loading animations, and again, nicely detailed. My hazard light is still on, apologies for that. So with that kind of I suppose game update, you would have seen it on other channels. There's plenty of other channels out there that probably beat me to the punch on cattle and crops, but as I say, it took me a while. I've been out of action for a couple of weeks, and just to find the, I won't say interest, but the right way of doing this, and I figured the right way to do it was just keep playing it while discussing the current status of the game, which for all intents and purposes is dead. So sad to see, but as I say, there is something here. I don't know if that community effort will get off the ground and get going. Fingers crossed it does. But again, how will it all work? And it's just tough to see it panning out. So for now, we'll wait with bated breath. You never know, somebody with a lot of money might invest in cattle and crops and want to see the game finished. But I don't think we're going to get that either. So with that all being said and done, we're going to continue on harvesting here. As I say, if you want to see me continue on this little mini series we were doing, where we were playing kind of ultra hard, ultra realistic, and seeing if we could get a farm up and going in terms of machinery. Yes, we've had to lease the harvester again this season, as we cannot afford even think about buying the price of the machinery that they've put in there in front of us. And again, we might take a quick gander through the mod pages and see is there any good mods after making it out. If there is, we'll definitely look into them. Bloody indicator is still on my tractor. I think that's solved this. So we're going to head for the old harvester here, and we'll continue on as we were going. So we've wheat and barley to get off our fields, that's the main thing. We have 2 fields done already, this is field number 3. And obviously the big field is one we will be leaving till towards the end. Let me just hide the HUD for. So we're on the way again. And we still do have a maize harvest as well to come after this, but that is about a month in game away, as it's still kind of growing and getting to that stage where it's ready to be chopped. But as I say, for now we'll work away in these fields. Obviously we're putting down a swat, the idea being to take the straw off and bale it, and again sell the bales for profit. Obviously we have to write that profit off against the lease of a baler, but I'm hoping, I think it worked out for us last season that it was worth doing, so we'll probably do something similar again this year. But for now we're just going to press on here. You can see the auger can't quite see the crop going in, but has the animation out the rear for the straw. Oh, we need to get ourselves over missing bits. So, as I say, we will keep going. We will finish up this field and we'll probably call it there, but I'll keep working away in the background, and we'll probably be coming back for the big barley harvest that we'll have to do. That's on a bigger field. But we'll tie up a few of the small ones. We will do a little test as well where we can chop one of them and see does it have any difference on the pH levels of the ground. Not sure if that is implemented, didn't see anything about it, but it would be interesting to see that if you chop straw it adds a certain value back to the ground. So we'll do it on one of the smaller fields, probably either 13 or 15, something like that. The rest we'll bale and we'll sell it all at the harbour. And we've had no update either on our cattle. We're still waiting to see if we can get 2 of them to get to 1,000 kgs. So there's still plenty to do in this save. So we'll probably tip away, but if you guys lose interest and don't want to see too much more of it, I want to see something else take its place, let me know and I will do my best on that. Or if you're keen to maybe get a monthly update on the game and see has anything changed, again, I will keep my ear to the ground anyway. But as I say, for now we're just going to press on with this field, press on with our wheat harvest in general and see how far we can get. So we have one more pass to do. Go and cab for this final pass as we head down the field. We don't need to worry about lefts and rights. I do believe that we can turn on our rear view camera, and we do have a pipe camera or rear view camera there as well. So we can have that on the go to make sure we're doing a nice clean strop behind. Don't see anything in terms of fill load there, but I don't think that screen is clickable. I'd be highly impressed if it was, and I don't think it is. Nope. And we are drifting badly. So we have another field wiped out, so we're just going to cross over the road here quickly. And we're going to track across one of our already cut fields to get back to the yard. I know this ain't ideal and you wouldn't normally do it, but we're doing it. Saves us detaching the header, as I've seen some weird things going on with that header. So the question is, how do we get down to the big field without creating wreck? We might get down the road here. So while we think of it, this could be the field that we actually do our chop straw in. So if I position the header for that, or the tail for that, drop in, and we'll just quickly tie up this field. There's not much left here in the wheat harvest now, to be fair, but we've had one full trailer and we'll probably get a second pretty easily. And you can see the chopped straw effect on the ground here behind me. So again, just interesting to see it. So as I say, this is just a quick update on the state of play. I won't bore you too much with me harvesting. As I say, we will be coming back to harvest that barley field anyway. The frequency of videos on cattle and crops might dwindle a little bit, all depending on your feedback, guys, so let me know how you feel about it. But for now, I've been Snowman86, this has been Cattle and Crops, and as always guys, thanks very much for watching, and see you all again. Take care.